Then we're gonna jump right in. Yearwalk! I don't know anything about this game like usual, but it should be pretty good. It got great reviews, and I don't think it's a survival game, so y'all don't have to like grit your teeth while I like suck out on y'all. Coffee, 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 coffee. Okay, let's see. Hide. Oh, not me. Um, I'm already in the game. I thought it meant like hide, like there's a monster. When there's a path leading north, press W or up arrow to cross it. Can I go W? Like missing it. W. I want to go to the house. Ah! Ooh. Okay, there's a little arrow when I'm allowed to do that. Okay. What is this? Alright, remember this. We've got Ah. So this is it's what are those things called on lockers when you, it's like a dial lock, I guess? Woof, now I'm way out on the farm. Let's see. Ah, this is cool. Hey, we found something. Okay. Alright, so this is gonna be pretty cool. There you are. I've been waiting for you all day. You should not go outside without a hat on a cold day like this. You will freeze your ears off. It's like really loud. Is it loud for y'all? I'm just checking on the sound. It's actually not that bad. It's just my volume was turned up way. Okay, you'll freeze your ears off, and I'm quite fond of the person those ears belong to. This must be my mom or something. Did anyone else see you coming here? Now you're being silly. You know that I'm not ashamed of you. It's not that. I like you very much. But you and I come from different worlds. He was waiting for my answer. I said I'd give it to him next year. And this is the last day of this season. Am I, her lover? Now you're being unfair. This isn't any easier for me. I don't like it when you're like this. Calm down. Am I yelling at her? You're walking? I hope you are joking. You do remember what happened to my cousin, don't you? Promise me you won't do anything foolish. We are not supposed to know what happens in the future. What am I telling her? You should hurry home to your cottage and get some rest. It's getting dark soon. Hurry home to your cottage. Okay. So I went this way. I think I remember the way home. Ah, there it is. Back. Haha! I found you, cottage. Okay, here we go, guys. I hope there's like some good music or something. Like sometimes horror games start with like rock and roll music. It's pretty decent usually. I'm always really into it. I'm like, and now I get to watch something happen. What's going on? Oh. Yearwalk. Yearwalk. Am I loading? Oh. I like this. That was so pleasant. Ooh, I got chills. That was so nice. Now what? This is beautiful so far. Let's go back to our friend's house. Hey, Got a bird and a chicken foot. Okay. Got a horse and a sword. Where's that? That's the deer. Alrighty. This is interesting. I'm liking this. There's my key. Hi, lady. Hey, forest lady. Key to your own heart, huh? It looks just like the goat from Do I have that key now? What? I don't have a name yet. What's our name? Rue Vandaloo. Oh my gosh, I don't even know it's an actual thing. That I don't have the Oh my gosh, there's a lot here. Okay, year walk. That's what our friend was talking about. Year walk was at its core vision quest with the purpose being to foresee the future. There were very rigid rules concerning the year walk, and not adhering to them could prove very dangerous, even fatal. How the practice of year walking came to be shrouded in mystery, but it seems to have been a widespread practice in Sweden until the beginning of the 19th century, and in some rural areas as late as the beginning of the 20th century. The practice was likely over 1,000 years old and most certainly pagan. Year walking varied greatly regionally and even locally. There might have been differences between one village and the next. All the variations had a couple of elements in common, though. A year walk could not be done in any common day. There were certain days a year when the gate was open, generally in liaison with important festival days such as May Day, Midsummer's Eve, or Christmas Eve. That must be the gate, and most commonly New Year's Eve. A year walker could not partake of any of the food and drinks that were served on these days, a sacrifice of no little significance since these feasts were some of the rare occasions when food would be plentiful and varied. A year walker had to avoid other people, so they commonly locked themselves in dark rooms and were not allowed to see a fire for the entire day. Perhaps not a vast sacrifice on Midsummer's Eve, but on cold winter days it would be uncomfortable at least, if not hazardous. If the year walker followed these steps, he would leave the dark room at the stroke of midnight. This would be the last chance to cancel the year walk. Once he ventured out, there was no turning back. The church was the final destination for a year walker. On his way, he would typically encounter a number of supernatural creatures which would pose a threat physically, mentally, and spiritually. If a year walker made it to the cemetery, he would walk around the church in an intricate pattern. This would open the year walker's eyes to the future, but it would also lure out the church grim. After having completed the year walk, the walker would see visions that could manifest themselves in different manners. When the year walker left the cemetery, he might, for instance, see a somber procession of dancers dressed in their finest church clothes. There would be the people that would die the following year. Whew. Okay. Oh, I bet I see my my lady friend, my mistress. A recurring theme is of course, the year walker who meets his own ghost on the road. Another story tells of how the walker could see newly dug graves. Love played a great part too, so a walker would typically meet wedding processions or even attend weddings yet to come. One testimony from the late 19th century tells of a mental patient named Martin Nilsson who described his visions as otherworldly experiences. Before I saw what happened next year, I lived among the stars. I lived there for many lifetimes, it seems. What do I care for next year? Time has already ended. Today, the practice seems to be almost entirely forgotten. Okay, this is the lady we just saw. It's gonna be a lot of story. This is a story-centric game. So, why is my computer keep doing a thing? Okay. Sorry, hold on. For some reason, is my stream still going? because for some reason over here it says it's not going. Refresh. I just want to make sure y'all aren't missing anything. I've been having problems with the video for the last 3 streams, so I just want to be sure. Okay, this is the lady we saw. The Huldra is known to have played a part in Norse mythology, but she is likely of an even older origin from when men lived off the forest rather than the fields. The Huldra was the guardian of the forest. She tended to the trees, plants, and animals. A single large tree in a grove surrounded by a smaller tree was often considered to be the Huldra's home, or even the Huldra herself. So keep an eye out for them. A large tree in a grove surrounded by smaller trees. She presented herself as a beautiful young woman. This was, however, not her real appearance. Very few saw the Huldra's true face, and even fewer lived to speak of it. She was often described as a lonely and woe-filled creature. Her relationship with humans was very complex. She could enthrall a man with her beautiful song and lure him deeper and deeper into the forest, where she would either wedded or killed him. The men kissed by the Huldra became apathetic and slow. Lyme disease! Or stoners. The Huldra only likes stoners. According to some accounts, the Huldra was a positive force. If a hunter was kind to the Huldra, she might blow her breath down the barrel of his rifle, which would bless his hunt. The colliers considered her their friend, as she kept fires from spreading from their charcoal kiln. She also helped those who willingly offered their blood to her, but this was dangerous, as the Huldra might drink the giver dry. The Huldra was thus capable of doing both good and bad deeds. It was very hard to predict whether she would help or harm, since she played by rules known only to her. So this is what we saw on the tree, who we haven't met yet, so maybe we should wait to go in there. Okay. We'll do reading little by little, okay? We won't do it all at once, only when it's important. Oh. This is new, right? So that path. Oh. Look, okay. What do we got here? I'm trying to remember these symbols. Oh. So that's the dark room the Yearwalk must go into. She's not in there, though. Wanna go back? Oh, God. Okay, here she is. Hey, lady. Where you going? Where you going? Stay here. I've been following you all around this forest, lady. The least you could do is give me the time of day. You have a very pretty voice. Ah. Talk to me, baby. Talk to me. Wait, no. Oh, come back. Hi. Help. You're so pretty. You got sticks in your hair, though, lady. I'm waiting for her to, like, jump at me or something, though. Wait. Where are you taking me? Kids, don't follow strangers off into the woods. Even pretty, floating, ghosty looking ones. Hey, did we make it? It's where we're... Wait. Does that mean you like me? What? Come back. Okay, do these owls mean it? Oh. I have a pretty good ear for music, and I didn't hear these tones. Well, she led me all around the universe. But, here we go. So, these are the owls, and this is her. So, let's see. I don't know if I can wind the head up. Left, right, left, right, right. Oh, I didn't count right. I have to do this again. I'm gonna count with candy. Mike and Ike's are gonna stand for right. Skittles are gonna stand for left. Where'd her mouth go? That's creepy. Right. Left. Right. 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 Left. Okay, we got it. We counted with Skittles. Which I think I'm a pretty clever little lad. So we're doing Skittle, Mike and Ike, Skittle, Mike and Ike, Mike and Ike, Mike and Ike, Skittle, Skittle. And one for me. I happen to have the perfect candy for this. I chose Mike and Ike's because Ike kind of rhymes with right. So that was whenever she danced right. I don't know if y'all can hear. Yeah. So that's 4 I've gotten right. This is pretty tough. Yeah. Okay. Thank God I did music for so long. Hey, lady. What? What? I guess she didn't like me. I just thought she was pretty. That caught me off guard. That's the first scary thing to happen in this game. Now that song of hers is gonna be stuck in my head. Bum 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 bum. Okay. Now I have the key. Oh, I have the key to the gate. Which see if I can remember where that gate was. Ah! Right? Open. I have a map. Cool. Okay. I didn't know I had a map. That would have been real better than feeling my way through the dark. So what was locked? Feeling it out. I mean, what's in box? Okay, I gotta pay closer attention to the details. I know exactly where this thing is. I have to go back to that, the log. Not this one, but, it's like farther back. Here we are. There's our horse dude. Hey, mister. Hey, Mr. Ninjas on Bond to replay. Mr. DJ, don't you turn the music up? Get out of there. Maybe we should read about him. Our encyclopedia. Here he is. Okay. So, I'm chewing now. Got excited. Okay. Sweden is a country that has a lot of lakes, rivers, streams, and brooks, and Swedish folklore is filled with strange creatures riding in the dark waters. The brook horse was a pale horse who lived in creeks or lakes, luring children to ride on its back. The brook horse's spine grew for every rider that it lured on top of its back. When the brook horse was satisfied, it leaped into the water, whereupon the children drowned. The brook horse had a lot in common with the Nix, a handsome young fiddler who lured young girls down into the water, and according to some, they were one and the same. It's likely the brook horse was made up to keep children from playing too close to the water. One of the more unusual descriptions comes from a story told in the north of Dalarna. Sound it out. A young man on his way home from work at a charcoal kiln. He decides to wash up in a nearby creek. The man finds a strange stone formed like a small child in the water. He picks it up. The man notices that he is not alone. He is being watched by a horse walking on two legs. Hello, Mr. Horse. The horse stretches out a human hand to the man, who gets frightened and runs home to a shack he shares with his fellow workers. He tells the tale to his comrades, who laugh at him and call him a drunken fool. Well, that's what you get for coming up showing like gin. He shows them the stone that now looks quite ordinary. The man curses and goes to bed. When the workers wake up the following morning, they find the man dead in his bed, his lungs filled with water, and the stone nowhere to be seen. The brook horse was almost always closely associated with death, not always in a negative way. For instance, the sad folklore Lily Nils. The brook horse is the one who finally leads Lily Nils' soul home, and thus ends his long series of misfortune. So, okay. We gotta find a rock that looks like a baby. That what I need to do? A baby rock? knocked out of the water. I forget I can grab things. Okay, every game where I get stuck, it's usually because, like, I forget I can do something. Like in God's Basement, I forgot I could zoom. Get out of here, horseman. And that, like, stalled me for an entire day because I forgot that I could zoom. You have to remember the sounds. Oh, there's more in the encyclopedia. This one. Some myling... there was blood all over it, that's why I looked. Some mylings died at the hands of angel makers. The angel maker would typically be paid by the child's poor mother to find a decent home for the infant. When the mother left, the infant was murdered. Typically, the mylins were murdered by their mothers, often unmarried women who had left to fend for themselves. The mylin would commonly be left in the wood or to die, or they would have been drowned by their mothers in brooks or bogs. Some mylings died at the hands of angel makers. The angel maker would typically be paid by the child's poor mother to find a decent home for the infant. When the mother left, the infant was murdered. Gosh. The most common way for the myling to hunt was the horrible wailing sound. The myling might take the form of a ball of light similar to those of the earbloss, Scandinavian will-o-wisp, and led the curious travelers astray. Sometimes they would cry for their mothers to breastfeed them, which would apparently set them free. One story from the Berslanger tells of an old farmer on his... Why is there just a J there? There are letters all over. Farmer on his way home from the forest, as he approached by a small child who follows him and says, "Grandfather, grandfather, I am so hungry." The old man tries to ignore it, but the child keeps on nagging, so finally the old man loses his patience. "If you find someone to feed you, then feed, but you won't get milk from me." The child seems pleased and leaves. When the old man comes home, he finds his daughter laying dead on the floor, bleeding from her chest. The child he met was the spirit of his murdered grandson. A person who helped the mylings find their way to the other side was often left with a gift. According to some sources, the mylings would be taken to other supernatural creatures such as Hobbs, or if it had been drowned, the brook horse. There's a hole there now. Let's go find this horse some babies to eat. Found something. I must be lowering something, or... No moving fast! Yikes. Okay. I gotta remember to drag things. Alright. There's a baby. Thanks, baby. I want you in my pocket, baby. Come with me. You little wiggly worm. We're going back to the horseman. He's gonna take very good care of you. I know a horse with your name on it. Oh, and look, the other baby's over here. Nice. But first we have to return you. Stop wiggling! Oh, and there's... Okay, there is the... Okay, that's gonna be 1, 2... 1, 3... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... 1, 3... 5, 6... 4. 1, 3, 5, 6, 4. 1, 3, 5, 6, 4. 1, 3, 5, 6, 4. 1, 3, 5, 6, 4. 1, 3, 5, 6, 4. 1, 3, 5, 6, 4. handy is really coming useful. See, because that's where I gotta type it in for the goat. But I already saw this blood over here. Right? Where are you? Oh, you're in the house. You're in the house. U and N. Oh, there was more blood. This wasn't here before. Get ready, guys. Baby, come with me. A baby? My goodness, it's just a little baby. I know it sounds like a little maggot the way it's squirming and worming around, but trust me, it's a baby. Wait, so then the only other one left is the UN, stop eating my hints. I can't stop eating my hints. Yikes forever. Okay, well, what does UN stand for? Back it. Okay, that's the one I already know. There's gotta be rhyme or reason. Because I'm at a standstill. I haven't seen any U's or N's. Like a piano? Aha! Like a keyboard. Okay. But I never guessed that you had to use keys that weren't in the original. Hi, baby! Aha! The keys on the keyboard were the keys that needed to be used in order to unlock the kiln. Alright, we've got all the babies. Let's see. Babies. Babies. Aww. Okay, a crow took it. Where have we seen crows? I have a good memory for music. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Okay. Having so much fun with this fire thingy. Doo, doo, doo. Where do you want me to take it? Whee! Down one. There's the wood. Found it. Here you go, little Nils. Rest easy. Oh. that thingy. So we want, so that's 2 at this thing. 1, 2, and this is 5. 5. Is there anything else? And 2. I haven't seen that symbol, I don't think. But I have seen this one. Let's read about the raven. Because that's what took our key just now. So I'm gonna guess that there's some hints in here. Natravnen. Carrion birds were deeply linked with misfortune and death in Scandinavian folklore. The night raven, or Natravnen, was certainly no exception. The night raven was described as a large bird with a sharp beak, sometimes with holes in its wings. If a person gazed through these holes, they would become ill. Other stories of a giant skeleton bird that could never satisfy its hunger. Travelers foolish enough to be out at night risked being devoured by the terrible bird, especially at festival days such as Christmas or New Year's Eve. Holidays just weren't good for Scandinavians. You know how we look forward to Christmas? They're like, oh my gosh, Christmas is around the corner. Beware the Natraven. The night raven has also been described as an ordinary raven, but if any landed in a house, someone would die shortly with a terrible fever. Overall, the night raven was strongly associated with disease. When farmers sent their children out to collect wild bird eggs, they had to be careful that they did not pick the eggs of the night raven. Those eggs were considered deadly, but if the child was unsure, he could knock on the egg 3 times and say, "Out with the evil spirit." If the egg belonged to the night raven, it would turn black. The night raven not only infested the eggs, it also possessed birds, preferably carrion birds. According to some sources, the night raven was a spirit of an evil, greedy man who had not been buried properly. The greed manifested itself in the night raven's fondness for shiny objects. Email. Because, it just doesn't make sense that, we did all that work to light up the dark place. Oops. And nothing really happened. It just gave us hints about something else. Can I take this? Ah, no. Still can't. I can move. I can't believe I didn't try just sidestepping one more time. That's a little bit ridiculous. I'm a little bit upset. But, okay. What is this? Okay. 3. So we've seen this symbol. 3. I don't remember this one, but 2. 5. And I don't remember this one either. 1. 6. So what does this mean? It's gotta come in handy sometime. Because this is... once again, I don't keep a pen and paper around me. What a mistake. Wait, it's a little detail of the thing. Yeah, I know, the little details, just walking is the problem with me in this game. Is just I just have to walk. So, let's see. This one's 1. This. I can't move them, can I? No. I haven't seen this symbol either. But that's 7. Hey. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. We're going. Thank you, Lil Nils. And this is where the last tombstone is. There's our bird. Hey, bird. Give me my key. Now don't take my key away this time, you jerks. Okay, here's the last one. 1, 3, 5, 6, 2. We're gonna go do that before, well, can we just, yeah, okay. 1, 3, 5, 6, 2. 1, 3, 5, 6, 2. 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5. 1, 3, 5, 6, 2. 1, 3, 5, 6, 2. Oops. Where was that thing? 1, 3, 5, 6, 2. We want to go there. So we want to go all the way back to the lake and then up. Okay. 1, 3, 5, 6, 2. Wait, don't give me my key back. Don't take my key. Double arrow. Double left, double right. Double left, double right. Double left, double right. Double right. Double left. I think that was it. Let's see. This key is very loud. Shimmer, shimmer, shimmer. Oh, wait. Let's see if that's it. That would be funny if the one I was missing was, like, right here. That would be ideal. Oh, it's not. That would be really funny, though. Try to get to this cemetery. Okie dokie, I gotta go all the way up. Up. Not this way, though. Don't eat my hints. I always eat my hints. Let's see. What? Oh. Okay. It's because, the horse was on the tree with the where is it? Okay. Because this was on the tree with the, and the horse was on the tree with this one. I don't remember what the baby was on the... Peanut? Sorry, my dog just made a noise. Check it out. Kyrkogrimen. Let's see. Of all the creatures in Swedish folklore, the church grim was doubtlessly the most complex and certainly the most feared. Little is known of it, since it was considered bad luck to even speak about it. The church grim's appearance varied, which could possibly be attributed to the nature of the church grim's origin. When the church was built in medieval times, an animal was sometimes buried alive under the floors, most commonly goats, since these were comparatively cheap. There have also been stories of criminals being buried alive as punishment. In other versions, the criminal's heart was cut out and placed inside an animal's carcass that was sacrificed. The heart was central in many of the myths surrounding the Grimm. Stories from south of Sweden told that if you could touch the church's grim heart, you could stare into the eyes of creation. The church's grim guarded the church against thieves and grave robbers, but because of it, even honest folks avoided the church at night. Some stories say that if they were unlucky enough to be the last one to die during the year, they would serve the church grim the following year. There are other stories that suggest the church grim was not a guardian at all, but rather a sort of parasite that was drawn to the energy of the church. While there, it fed on people's hopes, dreams, and fears. A recent and controversial theory suggests that the church's grim was closely related to the name Bronze Age deity. Okay. Okay. So the bird, the horse was 4. 2. Is 2. Wait. Baby's 2. Bird is 3. Yeah! And I know this very well. It is... Do I have to go all the way around each time? Yeah, I do. 1 left. Right. Left. 2 times. Right. Right. Left. Right. That should do it, so get ready, guys. Yeah! Okay, we're in. How many of you are figuring this out with me? Do I go through his stomach now? It's Now we're up. Future, and it's shaped like a pony. Can't be changed. We're seeing the future right now, guys. Right now we're seeing the future. Captain Falcon! You must stop coming here. I like the future though. It's very geometrical. It's also very bright on my eyeballs. Why? What did I ever do? Hey, it's my windmill plate. That's my windmill off in the my lady, my girlfriend. Get up. I killed her, didn't I? She said I don't love you anymore, and I killed her. And then I saw the future. Right? Wow, that was a great game. Oh, I'm so glad I stuck with it through to the end too, all in one sitting. That was so good. I don't think it would have been as good as I took a break if I took a break. That was fantastic. I mean, it wasn't scary per se, but it was like really like the puzzles were tough, but like not like irritating tough, like. And the hints were very helpful. They were needed in this game because getting used to just like walking left and right and back and forth was very difficult because it's like you're playing on a flat linear screen, but like you're also moving to and foreground or forward and background. Anyways, I want to look up more about the story because I'm pretty sure I'm putting it together where like the girl was like, yeah, like gonna call off my wedding. And then you do the year walking, which she says not to do, and see the future. And you see that she doesn't love you anymore. And I think you're the one who kills her because of your rage. I'm gonna look that up though. Yeah, the puzzle part, well, that's what I'm putting together here. That's what I got at the start. Written it all down. I only had to write down the symbols, everything that happened. Is this like can be changed? It's like the ending at the end of movies if you stay through the credits. Deliver the message. That's cool. The journal. Ooh, the journal. The secret is hidden. There's like a more part. North of the mill. Oh, south of the brook. Remember a secret. North of the mill, south of the brook. I wrote it down, don't you worry. North of the mill, south of the brook. Walk again. What was north of the mill and oops. What was north of the mill and south of the brook? What was that? What was in between the mill and the brook? North of the mill and south of the brook was oh, I didn't write it down. I'm gonna have to look for it. In any case, north of the mill, south of the north of the mill. LM6. South of the brook. There it is. 1894. We're still going, guys. Oh, it's the OALM. The OALM 68. Okay. Where's my journal? So, the OALM 68, password 1894. We got it! Okay. You have to show your notes to stream now. Well, they look like, my notes look like this. Candy. And this piece of paper. This is how I solved this game. Journal. What? Hello, new system. Testing. Oh, cool. Should probably write more here often. Read about every book on Swedish folklore there is. Surprised how little has been written about year walking. Need more sources of information. He suggests find field work might be good, for I feel I might be 30 years too late now. Been talking to elderly folks, eating cookies and drinking coffee. Their knowledge about year walking has been limited, to say the least. Barely any one of them knew what it was. If they did, they had heard stories as children but forgotten the details. Thinking ES sent me on a wild goose chase. Interview at the retirement home. May I never grow old. The last interview was intriguing, if very brief. Talked to one Astrid Jansen. She was over 100 years old. Clear at times, did not know a lot about folklore, but she did claim that her grandfather's brother had once year walked. Sadly, she did not know his name. He had died many years before she was born. Might have to look into it. Her maiden name was Svensson, which leaves me a lot of possibilities. She was born in Verdrup, and I can only hope that her grandfather was as well. 10 out of 10. I know, Mike and Ike's and Skittles. Ike's for right, Skittles for left. More interviews, nothing worth mentioning. Professor Ace called today. He hinted that the faculty wanted to take part in my research. Hey, Svensson, Daniel Svensson. Follow up to my visit at the retirement home in the early 20th century. There were 6 households. I wonder if this is true. Friendship with the name Svensson. According to the church book, Astrid was born in 1913. Her grandfather was named Carl Frederick. He had 2 brothers. One died in 1942. The other brother, Daniel Svensson, died in 1895. Since Astrid said that her great uncle died before she was born, Daniel was the one that supposedly year walked. A miller apprentice going to the library to check out old newspapers tomorrow. Look for references of Daniel Svensson in old newspapers. I'm grasping at straws. Another day at the library, nothing of interest. Bored, I'm about to give up. Excited, the newspaper finally mentioned the Daniel Svensson. He was apparently arrested for the murder of a young woman. We're unveiling the story now. In Vedtrup. Vedtrup, den 21. En ung hava arrestats for mordet par bajolnare dotorn Steen Nilsson. Hey, Lil Nils, that's the soul that we saved. Stina Nilsson, Little Nils. What? Was that her? It's sacred. Her name was Stina Nilsson. Oh no, Lil Nils could be anyone. And she was a miller's daughter. Her body was found in the field outside of the village. She had been stabbed multiple times. The library should be open longer. Hope I can find any reference to this supposed year walker. The motivation behind the murder seemed to have been jealousy. Not many details. Apparently, Stina was going to marry Lucas Tapper. She was on her way home from Lucas' parents when she was intercepted by Daniel. She was found the following morning, just 17 years old. I feel a tad guilty for my excitement after. I put the story together right, guys. Just after all, there is a great tragedy behind all this. It's because she didn't call off her wedding. The press seemed to have lost interest in the case after a while. Found nothing today. Maybe E.S. can tell me something. Had a long talk on the phone with E.S. The murder case was unknown to him. He had, however, spent a lot of time in Vedtrup during the 60s when he studied folklore in the area. There had been a rather peculiar runestone that seemed to predate the Viking Age. E.S. claims that there was a definite connection between the symbols on the stone and year walking. He could not tell how. Want to check it out. Went to the library again in case I missed something about Daniel. Indeed, I had found another article. Feeling upset and a little sad, borrowed the article just in case. Perhaps there is more to learn about Daniel. Booked a hotel room in Vedtrup. Arrived in Vedtrup. It's a small place. One street cuts through the village. It's a rather depressing place. To be fair, the weather would not do any place justice. The hotel is empty besides me and a group of dog toy manufacturers who are a bit on the noisy side. Must ask chef for the veal recipe. Got a map from the hotel owner. Excited about the archive, having the feeling that I will find something major. I feel responsible to share this all with y'all because like I don't know. I feel like this journal has been locked the whole time, and we want to get through this, right? We want to learn about this story. Just got back from the archive, an interesting place. Sadly, it's only open for hours a day. It's understandable since I was the only visitor, possibly around the files I needed. Tomorrow reading a lot of it. I knew it. The archive has exceeded my wildest dreams. On New Year's Eve, in 1893, I stopped learning how to read for a second. Well, I can't read. Daniel Svensson did indeed year walk. The court records refer to his year walk at several occasions. I have just started to scratch the surface. There must be beliefs hidden among the papers that have been forgotten for ages. Amazing. This is by far the latest record, year walk. I hope I am excused for borrowing the file from the archive. They made me little choice since they are closed during the weekend. Cool. Could not sleep last night, too excited by the files. Much of the records are of the legal nature and they are relevant passages. Daniel claimed he knew that he would murder Stina after seeing it in a vision on his year walk. I was right. Sadly, the scribe has not bothered to take it all down and occasionally just referred to it as ramblings of a madman. Poor boy, there are certain elements that are new to me. Must write them down in detail later on. Need fresh air. Daniel's cabin, Solstersten, is briefly mentioned in the protocol. We'll ask around it. Hope it still exists. Hey, there's the thing we couldn't open. That box. I never opened it. Drove around for hours in the forest today. There are woods to get lost in. Asked for directions from every locale. Most people never heard of the cabin. Was about to give up when I met an old man. His aunt had lived there till the 60s. From then it had three different owners that used it as a summer house until the mid 80s. The last family that owned the cabin only stayed there one summer. Their 5-year-old son drowned in a brook nearby, and after that they never returned. No one has lived there since. The old man's nephew owned the land. I asked the old man if I could pay it a visit. Did not think there could be anyone that would mind. The cabin is situated deep in the forest, no sign, no road, just a narrow path. This was the place where he started his year walk over 100 years ago. Felt overwhelmed by the thought, could not enter. It's a lonely place. The only other building I could find in the area was an underground storehouse, because it might have belonged to the cabin. It was too dark in to see anything, but I imagined there would be anything of significance in there. On my way back to the car, I found this strange box. What an odd thing to leave in the middle of the forest. Seems to be more or less mint condition. Could not resist taking it. I wonder if he's gonna give us the code to the box, 'cause that's the box that we couldn't open. We didn't have the I'm gonna write down September 30th. Um, because maybe he gives us the clue to get in. Went to Vedtrup Church today. It's a small white stone church built in the 12th century. The place where the church stand has been used for worship even earlier than that, according to the priest I met. He showed me around the premise. Bought a bouquet of flowers on Stina's grave. Seems appropriate. The almost unlikely somber epitaph read, "In memory of our loving daughter, Stina Nielsen, 1877 to 1894." Her cries for mercy could not sway his hand. Peanut. Depression. Depressing. Searched for Daniel's grave, but there was no stone, and according to the priest, there probably never was. The gravestone he has told me about are gone. The priest is not sure where they are or when they disappeared. Weather has been unreasonably bad. Spent the day at the country archive. Had trouble concentrating. Tried to locate a photograph of Daniel Svensson, but no luck. A clerk explained that a lot of stuff was lost when the files were moved from the regional archive back in 1976. Apparently, there was another murder case in Vedtrup in the early 1890s. Elisa Rasmussen drowned 4 infants in a creek. She was an angel maker who received foster children from poor unmarried mothers. Lisa promised to find the babies good homes in exchange for a hefty sum of money. This was all a charade. As soon as the mothers had paid what they had owned, she drowned the children in the nearby creek. All files from the trial have been lost. Outrageous. Think I'm done with the archive. Been thinking a lot about that church. The runestone ES talked about is not marked on any map. Talked to the man on the service station. He drew me a rather primitive map. Searched for the stone for a long time. Almost gave up. Found it at last. Felt compelled to touch it. Had the strangest sensation of looking at beyond. Beyond what? The feeling lasted for quite some time. Peanut, stop it. Peanut's eating my bed or something. Heading home tomorrow. Wish I had more time. This stone is old and might predate Christianity, but I fail to see how it is connected to year walking. Could not resist stopping by the church on my way home. Walked around it for a bit. It's a pretty church. Not remarkable, but there is something about it. Feel that the church and the stone are connected somehow. Okay. Oh, there's that box. October 4th. Found the box when I unpacked. Had almost forgotten about it. It seems to have some lock-like construction, but I have yet to understand exactly what it is or how to open it. It reminds me of one of those puzzle boxes. The wheel has symbols suggesting it's opened by entering a password. Yeah, must be old. Maybe ES knows something about it. Decided not to tell ES about the box. He might not appreciate that I took it with me. He's always nagging me about ethics. Busy week, classes and meeting. The faculty is really getting in the way of my research. Feeling a bit strange. I've had weird dreams ever since I came back to Vedtrup. Let's party, Theo. He's in a bikini. Dreamt that I was in a vast wasteland. I was searching for the keys to my locker together with Jenny from high school. Okay, this might be it. We laughed and dug in the sand. Suddenly the sky lit up and Jenny pointed to a simple constellation of stars. She whispered in my ear to never forget. I asked her what it meant, but she was dead and her bones were withered and old. Woke up feeling rather queasy. That's a triangle. And there is a triangle on the box. Okay, T box question mark. Okay, T. Read an account of a year walk by the man named Remedial in an old book I came over in a used bookshop. Remedial's story is little more than a tall tale by the drunken oaf. Most of them seem to be. Daniel sticks out. It haunts me. held a lecture on year walking. Several faculty members attended it. They ridiculed me in front of the other students. Another strange dream. Okay. Was doing my homework, was stressed because the oil lamp was running out of oil, and when it did, the pale horse outside the window would come inside. The lamp burned out and everything went black. Woke up soaked in sweat. There are squares. 3, 4, 5. There are 7 though. But Hassan. Dream 8. OKT. Dream 12. OKT. There are squares on the box, so I'm gonna keep writing these down. Must remember to buy groceries. Fiddled with the box, I have no clue how to open it. Frustrating. When jealousy, small-minded, greedy creatures the faculty members are, and they will undoubtedly create small-minded, jealous. How many squares were there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7. Created small-minded, jealousy, and greedy students don't feel the need to share any of my research with the faculty anymore. They don't deserve to read something that my hand has written. They would not understand anyways. I thought of what is inside the box as like an itch that can't be scratched. I've searched for references to anything about it, but I've found nothing that resembles it at all. If the triangle stands for 1, 3, 4, 5. No. 1, 2. No. Okay. Having more strange dreams. Something happened in those woods. Is year walking a mere vision quest? Are the visions brought on by lack of light and food? ES believes so. I'm not so sure. Dreamt of the runestone. Was in the forest outside Vedrup. Miss Bowman was walking up to me. I was very afraid. She said that I had been a bad boy and broken the rules before I could defend myself and tell her that I did not mean to be naughty. She withered into dust. Found myself in front of the runestone. The Grimm's eye glowed at me. Woke up. Okay. Find myself thinking of the stone. What does it mean and how is it connected to your walking? What did people in these woods do? These are all the things on the stone. Hey, what is this? This is the half circle, right? What does that mean? Or is that a D? Does that mean D? Do not feel like sleeping tonight, drinking coffee and watching TV. If I stay awake, those dreams will stay away. Could not understand much of my students' presentations today. Must sleep. Someone is watching me all the time. Got an email reminder to deliver the text for the game. Wrote 7 or 8 pages. Hopefully it's enough. Waiting. Don't know for what. Having a feeling that something is on its way. Received an odd email today. Half circle. There's the half circle. Why? So, nah. Oh, we're uncovering. So it's triangle, square, half circle. Is it some kind of threat? Called the priest, told him my plight. He said the very something had a strange effect on people, but it rarely lasted. Do not think he understands. I'm going to ask him about the box, but decided to hang up what he suggested. I see someone. Woke up last night, heard baby screams from beneath the floorboards. Panic. Managed to pry up some floorboards. The screaming stopped. Okay. The Watchers, the Night Raven, the Huldra, the Brook Horse, and the Church Grim. There might be others. Cannot be sure. Can they disguise themselves? Maybe they can read my mind. The Watchers, because they watch. That's what they do. But is it all they do? One, two, three, four, 5. Remember when we saw 5 and it was like the square? It was this symbol. That there's stars here on besides bagel that have the 5 circles. And if you look at this makes sense. But why? Why does this make sense? Because that's the same symbol. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Bagel. Watchers. This is what's the date on this? November 8th. I'm putting this down. I probably won't solve it till later, but it's important. That's important. Because why would it be on a bagel thing if it wasn't important? There's a reason that that picture's there. Your walk equals system error. I really want to look at this more. 2, 3, 4. B, A, G, E. 2, 3, 4, 5. Anyways. Okay. Your walking works, but it was never meant to. It's against the rules. The universe blinked its eye and someone crossed all barriers that are known as time and space. The watchers are watching, but who are the watchers watching? Can you bend time and space? Got in a heated argument with ES. He is surprisingly scornful of my theories. Must remember that he is an old man and he might not be as open to new ideas any longer. He claims that it's impossible to gaze into the future. The future is not set. Nothing happens until it happens. Of course it's impossible to look into the future according to logic, but I'm not sure they are playing according to our rules. The watchers are more than they appear unless they are real, yet they are unreal. They do not exist in a manner that is table and chair and exist. How do I know these things? Are they my thoughts? Am I writing this? I certainly did not draw this, but yet it is right in my notebook. Another square! So we've got triangle, square, half circle, square, watchers, or antibodies. There's that symbol. 5. I don't know. Daniel broke the rules and he was punished. Held another lecture, this one for a long time it seems. Has been decided that I need a break, but it matters not. I have more important things to do. I've been an idiot. Someone is playing with me. These shapes, it's the same as on the box. Did someone see me take it? Try the symbols I have received, but the box remains shut. There must be more coming. Where's the next symbol? I don't see another symbol here. Woke up last night. No. Woke up last night. The telephone rang, answered. Could not hear anyone. Hung up. It rang again. Answered. Could hear someone speak on the other side. Could not make out what was being said. The voice was too far away. Hung up. It kept ringing. Cut the cord. Bought whiskey. Bought food. People stare. Don't want to go out again. Too many know who I am. If you break the rules, there will be consequences. Wish I had not cut the cord to my phone. Need to hear a human voice. Don't dare to go out. Triangle. Now I'm just trying to find the code. At first, I didn't even notice one of the paintings in my living room has been replaced. It must have happened during 30 minutes I slept. Cannot let my guard down. Someone was here or something. Will the antibodies come for me? Am I the virus in the eye of the universe? How long is this, by the way? November 30th. I must almost be there, right? Okay, I'm almost there. Boarded up the balcony and all windows. Nothing can come in now, I hope. Shouldn't be possible, but someone was here again. I'm definitely being threatened. There was a knife on my kitchen table. Old, but sharp. I realize that the knife is his. We are connected. The church is central to this, and yet it is not. Perhaps the church itself is not important, but rather the energy of the place. Perhaps the gate is always there, but it's not a gate. Gates are meant to be open or closed. This is a rift in the fabric and the very existence of everything. But why allow it? Why does the universe of God or someone not shut the gate? If we're not meant to do it, why let us? I can hear the heart of the universe beating. What is happening? Feel like a worn old Bigfoot. I feel a shadow hanging over me, waiting to be crushed. She sings and I follow. She is trying to fool me, that I know, but I must get closer to her, because then I get closer to the key that leads to the heart of it all. Thanks for sticking with me, guys. We're gonna open this box at the end of this. I didn't steal the box because it begged me to take it with. I didn't steal the box because it begged me to take it with me. Okay, Daniel survived all the watchers sent by the universe. He was lured by the temptress, bought to the innocence to the bale horse, unearthed the parasite, and finally faced the master of them all. But yet he was destroyed. Could it have gone any other way? Was he doomed from the start? Am I doomed? Is the future set, or can it be altered? Must help him. It's the right thing to do. There is a bond between us. Might have figured it out. 5 watchers, 5 symbols, which means there is one more coming. Both of those stand for 2. So tired, can't seem to hold my thoughts for any period of time. Should probably eat more often, but I must resist. It's important that I come prepared. The heart beats stronger, but I will break it and see beyond everything. In the end, it was the nature of man that got Daniel. Must free myself of all desires. That's how they get to you. Can love really be a weakness, or is it a strength? And the poor girl, it just seems unfair. Is there anything I can do? If the future can be altered, why not the past? Am I playing the part of the fool in this cosmic play? And if so, to what purpose? Disconnect the microwave oven, just in case. Feeling absolute terror at the possibility that there is no purpose, no rhyme, no reason to any of it. Why me? The only way I can help him is if I break the rules. It will come at a price, but what do I care if I can rise above it all? 2 rules, time and space. YW. Saw her lifeless body. She is so beautiful, even in death. Have been crying ever since. It seems so needless, so cruel. Ready for anything. Don't care anymore. Okay. Half circle. Here it is finally, the last one. Woke up to this in my palm. Tried to wash it out. It's a tattoo. Tested them in all different kinds of combinations, but I could not figure out how to do it. I must sleep. I will open the box tomorrow. Okay, now I know that this is not real because that's Sharpie, the way it's leaking through his skin. Of course, so simple. Rotate the wheel and release when the symbol aligns with the grim in the order they were delivered to me. But why was it empty? I thought it was Daniel all along. I thought he was here, but it cannot have been he who sent me the password. It doesn't make sense. If the box was empty, it means it must be filled. I still do not understand who sent the symbols. If it was not the boy, then it must have been the Watchers. But why? Why are they toying with us, helping us in some perverse, twisted way? From the get-go, he was doomed. They got him in the thought of year walking, but I think the girl can be saved. I put everything he needs in the box and locked it. I will leave it here when I found it, where all of this started. If my mind is set on this, doesn't mean that I am doomed too. The rift is open. It wants me to go through. Packed my things. I wonder if I will come back. Soul Sorten. It's cold here. I wish I could light a fire, but I must do it right. Surprised how calm I feel. Only hours remain. It's midnight. That's the last one. We're gonna go open this box. This is it, guys. This is what we've been working for. Let's go to the bathroom so bad. I've been holding it though. I'm so excited. The first thing, I think we're gonna... Okay. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, I'm so excited. Alexa, I wasn't talking to you. Okay. Okay, we've got triangle. Square. Half circle. This way. Square. Triangle. Oh, wait. I think I did the wrong triangle. Oh, no. And then half circle. Right? That's all. So, I think when I counted the windows that was not one of the symbols. Which is why I'm going to try one more time and then I'm going to look through real quick. Half circle this way. Square. Triangle facing up. And then... Yeah! We're in, guys. We're in. Are you ready? Murdered. January 21st, yesterday morning, Killer Daniel Svensson was executed at Christian, found guilty for the heinous murder of Young. Last year, the death sentence has been criticized by the highest renowned doctor Helmer London, who stated that Daniel is suffering from an abnormal psyche. He seemed to have problems discerning past from present, and his visions of terrible creatures, something not uncommon among schizophrenics. Daniel cannot be held accountable for his actions and should be given treatment at an institution for the criminally insane. The execution was performed by Gustav Dahlberg. This was his fourth execution. Last year, he was to perform the execution of the notorious Lisa Rasmussen, who was charged with the murder of 4 infants in Vladtrop, but who took her own life before the sentence could be carried out. Security has been improved greatly since. Daniel Svensson was composed during the whole process, besides slightly shaking hands, so common among the criminal type. You could not tell Daniel from any other young men. He sobbed loudly once when he laid his head down low, but quickly regained his composure. A quick prayer and a swift, powerful stroke, and it was over. According to the attendant priest Granith, Daniel's last words were, "I should have killed myself, then none of this would have happened." You are long dead when I write this, and I have not yet been born, yet I have a connection beyond life, death, space, and time. The impossible made possible by year walking, but when the watchers always win. Even though you've not passed through the rift yet, they sense the urge and they want their sacrifice. I wish there could be another way. I'm sorry, but for her there is still hope. I can save her. I know what you know what you must do. Kill myself? Beautiful. What a great story. And we got the ending too, guys. Because that's how I feel. The end. Year Walk. That was Year Walk, guys. We're going back to playing, I think, Fran Bow next. If not tomorrow, then we're going like late tomorrow. It probably won't even be on my schedule if I do. Thursday. No, I don't want to walk again. Thank you very much. I'm done. But you guys have a great night. I had a fantastic time. And gosh, I hope y'all enjoyed that as much as I did. Bye.